What if the secret to deeper connections is not about trying harder but about understanding your brain? Imagine that the key to unlocking stronger relationships, deeper compassion, and genuine human connection is already inside you, waiting to be activated. In this video, we are diving into cutting-edge neuroscience to uncover why empathy sometimes fails, how your brain is wired for it, and most importantly, how you can train and rewire yourself to cultivate deeper empathy every single day. Stay with me until the end because I will give you a science-backed toolkit to make empathy your most powerful life skill. Have you ever wondered why some people just seem to understand you completely while others leave you feeling invisible? Empathy is not one single thing. Scientists break it down into two powerful forms. Cognitive empathy is when you understand what someone else is thinking, like stepping into their perspective mentally. Emotional empathy is when you actually feel what someone else is experiencing in your body and your emotions. Both matter. Without cognitive empathy, we misinterpret others. Without emotional empathy, we remain cold and detached. The world we live in today, in 2025, is increasingly polarized. Social media echo chambers, quick dopamine scrolling, and a culture of speed are creating what researchers call the empathy gap. This is the measurable decline in our ability to genuinely connect across differences. And that gap has consequences from divided communities to fragile relationships. But here is the hopeful truth. Your brain has a map for empathy. It is already wired in, and once you know how to activate it, connection becomes natural again. To understand empathy, we need to take a quick tour inside your brain. The first stop is the mirror neuron system. These are special brain cells that fire both when you perform an action and when you see someone else perform it. That is why yawns are contagious and why you wince when someone else stubs their toe. It is your brain simulating their experience as if it were your own. But this system is not always automatic. It is influenced by how much attention you give and by hidden biases. Next, we move to the anterior cingulate cortex and the insula. These regions are like empathy's emotional engine. They process pain, disgust, and visceral feelings, blurring the line between your own state and that of another person. That is why you feel a deep cringe when you see someone injure themselves. Finally, we reach the ventromedial prefrontal cortex or VMPFC. This part of your brain allows perspective taking, the ability to imagine life from someone else's viewpoint. When it works, it feels like stepping into another person's shoes. But when it misfires, misunderstandings grow and empathy collapses. So if empathy is wired into us, why do so many people struggle with it? The answer is that these circuits can weaken through disuse, overload, or environmental factors. But the same circuits can also be strengthened through training. The most exciting discovery in neuroscience is that empathy is not fixed. It is a skill. Just like a muscle, it can be trained and strengthened with practice. Mindfulness is one of the most powerful tools. Just 10 minutes of daily mindfulness meditation has been shown to enhance neural pathways linked to empathy. By focusing on the present moment, your brain becomes more attuned to subtle emotional cues in others. Narrative engagement is another pathway. When you read novels, watch films, or listen to diverse stories, your brain actually simulates those lives. Neuroscientists call this transportation. It means that your empathy circuits light up as though you are living the story yourself. This is why storytelling is one of the oldest and most powerful empathy building tools in human history. Then there is controlled exposure. Most of us live in bubbles, people who look like us, think like us, and live like us. But your brain's empathy network expands when you deliberately connect with those outside your comfort zone. A simple practice is to replace one scrolling session with a real conversation with someone from a different background. Over time, your empathy circle literally grows, but empathy is not always positive. Like any powerful force, it has a dark side. Empathy overload is common among healthcare workers, activists, or even parents. When you feel too much, your brain's circuits become fatigued. The result is compassion fatigue and burnout. The solution is not shutting down empathy but balancing it with self-compassion and emotional boundaries. Then there is manipulative empathy. Some people use their understanding of emotions to exploit others. Con artists, toxic leaders, and manipulators read your feelings only to twist them for personal gain. Recognizing this pattern is crucial to protect yourself. Finally, there is the out-group bias. Our brains naturally empathize more with people who look, think, or act like us. It is tribal wiring from evolution. But this bias is not permanent. By consciously exposing yourself to diverse perspectives and reminding yourself of shared humanity, you can override it. So, how do you turn all of this science into action? Let's put together your empathy toolkit. The first practice is active listening. Put away distractions, maintain eye contact, mirror back what you hear, and validate feelings. Studies show this activates the same brain regions as deep empathy. The second practice is perspective shifting drills. Once a day, take a moment and ask yourself, if I were this person, what would this situation feel like? By doing this, you are literally exercising your ventromedial prefrontal cortex like a gym workout. The final practice is remembering the ripple effect. Compassion spreads. One study showed that a single act of empathy can cascade through a social network up to 3 degrees. That means your behavior today can affect not just your friend, but your friend's friend's friend. Here is the truth. If you feel like you lack empathy, it is not a permanent flaw. It is a signal from your brain that these circuits need training. Just like your body strengthens with exercise, your empathy grows with practice. When you cultivate mindfulness, storytelling, perspective taking, and balance, you are not just becoming a more empathetic person. You are rewiring your brain for connection in a world that desperately needs it. Because in the end, empathy is not weakness. It is not soft. It is science. And it is the bridge to the kind of world we all want to live in. If this video inspired you, hit like, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe for more brain science that transforms the way you think, feel,